Welcome back, League fans. We heard you, and we're getting ready and set for our final game of the day. Golden Guardians taking on... Oh, Golden Guardians Academy taking on Echo Fox Academy. I always forget, and then you want to say it, and then you don't, but it's Golden Guardians versus Echo Fox. Either way, and Echo Fox should have the clear advantage here as they make their way into this matchup, with Golden Guardians just struggling to get any leads in their game.
Yeah, it's pretty likely that this will be a one-sided matchup, which affords us some time to talk about the top lane, where a lot of personalities have been chiming in recently on thoughts on the top lane meta, including Echo Fox Academy's top laner, Allorim, who had an AMA because he thought, hey, this is a top fine, like the top is completely fine after everyone was kind of raging about it.
Right, it's like, what's this? How is it working out? And everybody kind of has their own opinion on it, really.
Yeah, and I think it was funny because in that thread, someone responded like, by the way, guys, this isn't like a random Redditor troll. Like, this guy is actually a top lane professional player. And that does seem to be the prevailing sentiment amongst pro tops, at least that we've heard. We talked to Sheer a little bit into today, and they think it's a pretty balanced meta. Nothing's crazy. You know, it's not perfect, and a lot of people are not happy with the meta as a whole.
Right.
But top laners, a lot of them seem to be okay with how it is.
Kind of like there's ways to tank if you want, there's ways to carry if you want. What I think a lot of top laners just want that avenue to have in general. I think everybody has a pretty good idea how to tank. It requires a little more teleporting, but when you're the fighter, it feels good. You want to take that lane to yourself.
Yeah, and I can understand like there's no keystone that feels great on some of those, but at the same time, you can play Camille's, you can play Vlad's, you can play GPs, you can play Gnars. You're like everyone's playing like a Kali in the top lane just won today. Like I think there's a lot of options, so it feels a little strange to say like, what a terrible meta for top lane.
Absolutely. And for those of you unfamiliar with Allorim, he made a name for himself on the Monkey King, but is determined to shed that label.
I want Allorim to stop being that Wukong one trick. That was more than 2 years ago, and that is not me anymore. While I would love to play Wukong for my fans, he's not a good character right now, so we'll just have to wait until Riot reworks him.
Now, you've kind of been with teams, with pro players, being an analyst and whatnot. What is it kind of like when you see a player that you know was a one trick? How long did it take to get out of your head, kind of? Obviously, you don't want them to play that, but you see that person and you're like, this champion.
Yeah, I mean, like Quas in particular with Swain was just like those two were synonymous with each other, and like we would work it into scrims every now and then. He would like stomp, and you're like, maybe this works, and then you try it on stage one time,
possibility.
It doesn't work, and you're like, all right, never mind. So you're always trying to find ways to accommodate the one trick, but you never want to brute force it.
It is true. It is true. Let's get into the starting rosters and see what we have this time with Golden Guardians starting on the blue side. It is the top lane, Jenkins. In the jungle, we got a Potluck. Everybody's there. bobqin in the mid, Jurassiq at bot, and support Xpecial.
Over on the red side for this game, we have Echo Fox. In the top lane, it's Allorim. In the jungle, it's OddOrange. Mid is Damonte, with the import Lost in the bot lane, supported by Chau.
He did great yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Your boy, your favorite player in the entire Academy League.
But they did lost the other week. That made me sad. It happened.
You're a caster, Riv. I understand it's a joke, but you got to use proper grammar.
This is true. This is true. So we'll have to see, like we said, Echo Fox kind of being the favorites in this game. But I feel like that means Golden Guardians, with something to lose, a little less to lose with that pressure. They don't have all of that on them. Go try something. Play some mainstay champions in your wheelhouse and feel good about the laning phase. Get the fights you want.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a similar situation to what people are saying about the LCS Golden Guardians squad, where it's like, all right, you guys are struggling. You know, we're fine seeing some weird stuff. Like, if you think Zed's your best pick, like, you know, go ahead, take Zed into something that's a little squishy. Set up the bans to cater to that situation. Make sure you're still prepping for it and putting yourself in the right positions, but like, feel free to branch out a little bit more because the standard ain't working.
Well, the Camille is out this game, that's for sure. Gangplank as well. Jenkins won't have any super carries from the top side. There's still a few. We saw the Akalis today already. Kog'Maw rise for Golden Guardians. And the Zoe actually banned out from that blue side.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. A little surprising to see it over there, but Damonte has had a monster Zoe performance already.
True.
And I think that struck fear into a lot of people. So who knows if Echo Fox is down to say, yeah, we'll leave Zoe up. I dare you to play it. And it's one of those situations where no one plays it because it's banned so often. Yeah. And then you don't pick it first pick. And then suddenly Damonte's like, wait, I'm actually one of the guys who does play that.
Thank you very much. So much damage. One of those champions that no matter how your lane does, she can wreak havoc on it. Jenkins locks in the Galio. bobqin, he's going to be able to go hard in this game.
And it seems like a fair amount of mid bans already as well with the Rise, Azir, and Zoe gone. Wouldn't be surprised to see this end up being a quirky game. So we'll keep our eye on that. As well as the fact the Jarvan still up, but it seems like people are less terrified of that combination this week. It's the second time that people have been able to split up J4 Galio. Haven't bothered to do it after it was kind of almost paranoia last week with that combination.
Anything that can dive in. I guess they figure they'll put something like the Camille in there. And they're like, oh, we took the Camille out. Let them have the Jarvan.
Yeah, so there you go. There's the Jarvan.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, like you said, maybe there's just too many options. Someone grabs Zac. Is it really too different?
Right.
Like, it's understandable. And so they also grabbed the Gnar. So this is kind of the Narvan, Galio, everybody dog pile on top of
Potluck.
Oh, yeah. Living up to the name. But I do like this combination of champions. They're all very powerful together.
Absolutely. Now they can just put a whole lot of power in that. Also allows the focus of the bans from Fox Academy if they do decide to take out a strong mid laner for bobqin.
Do it.
Again.
Yes.
I mean, bot lane.
Sion top for Allorim. He was talking about this in that AMA, saying he thinks
That's not a monkey.
He thinks it's probably the second best top lane tank right now behind
Ooh.
Ornn. It doesn't lose very many matchup sets, very graceful champion. When it does start falling behind, it's fine without a ton of gold. It can actually play kind of a bully style as well. And then you're playing it into Galio, Jarvan, Gnar. Like, you're going to get attention to the top side. And with his passive, Sion's always a threat to dive. So I do like this pick a fair amount given the attention that will be in the top lane.
Call the Forged Sion.
Yeah. you are yourself. You just get really mad.
Wow. Right in. That'd actually be pretty cool if he had kind of like a even bigger Jaeger skin. It was like a rocket that propelled him forward. He wasn't really moving his feet.
I don't know. I already like the mecha one where he turns into a drilled tank.
That is true. He does turn into the tank. All right, I'm asking for too much. We got second ban phase. Kalista, Rakan, Corki, Talia. Actually, Corki keeps getting kicked out of the mid lane in some of these matches.
And I actually do like that pick a lot for or the ban, excuse me, of the Talia,
right.
Just because it's such a powerful roamer that can kind of match the Galio. It kind of pushes early on while winning the 1v1.
Good
so it stacks up very well. So they get rid of that and they get rid of the Corki, the other thing that we were anticipating seeing there. So I like those two a lot. And then the Fiora lock-in. Potentially Fiora mid lane taking a page out of CLG Huhi's book.
Oh my word. Yeah, right? It's not like we're flexing this. Science support?
It's possible. That has been a thing.
Yep. Allorim looking to make that impact, though. Ezreal locked in for Jurassiq, possibly an Alistar to try and deny what this Fiora, what this jump-in team wants to do. There's also already a lot of peel for the Ezreal, who doesn't really need it, but he's going to get it anyways. So much protection on the front line, and Ezreal firing from the back.
Yeah, I do like the Braum a little bit more. Like you said, the protection coming in for Ezreal. Alistar can be protective, but generally best as a proactive engager. But you already have Jarvan, Gnar, Galio. I'm not sure the Alistar really needs to get in there as well. So I do like the change in what the champions can do. Braum very good as well. And then they take the Morgana to try and win one of these lanes because they're going to have a hard time getting priority in both mid and top. Fiora, while very powerful 1v1 champion versus Galio, one of the hardest counters against him, she does often rely on that being a topside matchup where the lane is longer. And in mid lane, Galio has an easier time focusing on wave clear. So still a little tough for the Galio, but more options available.
It's going to be super interesting. I'm going to have eyes on Pop Chau. How good is that spell shield this game? He's got it on the right target within that Galio taunt. He's going to have a lot of choices, a lot of targets. He's going to have a big mini game to play throughout it. We'll have to see Echo Fox coming off of a loss yesterday. A game they were in the lead, got a little too ahead of themselves, and Team Liquid Academy were to take them down. So they're looking for the win here. It's expected from a lot of their fans, but Golden Guardians is going to be fighting hard. They got to find a win soon. 1-6 in the Academy League here. It's not going too well for the LCS team either.
But we have a fantastic game in terms of the comps for both teams here. Golden Guardians, big dive comp, lots of top lane snowball. Echo Fox going very counter pick heavy. They have a Fiora in the mid lane, Morgana in the bot lane. They are looking to also get advantages because if they fall behind, they do not have much wave clear at all. And they don't have great ways of necessarily getting onto Jurassiq or something like that if they're trying to defend a turret.
A super counter pick heavy, but I kind of like the fact that maybe they're still the kind of champions they want to be playing, usually you can get yourself into a rut by saying, we need to counter this, and we can't synergize this comp that well together. But everything feels like it, or seems like it'll feel pretty good for each of the champions on Echo Fox.
Yeah, I think they still have some synergies, like having the Black Shield not only for Lost in lane, but in late game you can throw it on Damonte so he can dive in a little bit easier.
Super invulnerability.
And then you have Damonte who's going to be splitting a lot, going with the Kleptomancy. So he'll be able to get a lot of gold quickly. Then you start trying to match up versus whoever wants to go against you in the side lane, which should not be easy. It is difficult against the Galio because you're trying to 1v1 a Gnar. Galio can always come in and join, but hey, if Allorim has teleport, he can also get in that.
Yep. I love that support's taking that now.
Oh yeah.
Win lane, win game, isn't that how you say it? Hopefully. OddOrange starting off. No smite for Allorim as we kind of track that on some top laners to start here. I was using Spellbook. It's a Comet Sion to begin things off.
Yeah, he has a lot of ways of proccing that. Both his E and his Q have CC on them, so it makes it pretty easy to land the Comet. So it's a good trading tool available for him.
Fleet footwork Gnar. Keep himself heals up and fast. bobqin with quick farming out. Never going to be that hard for a Fiora to farm under turret, so he's fine to get pushed in over and over. Might just take some Winds of War damage, if anything. OddOrange towards the bot side as both junglers start on their second main camp.
Speaking about that mid lane matchup, the last times that we had seen it, it was a full tank Galio. And in the early levels, I expect it won't mean as much, but later on in the game, you know, this is not a tank Galio who's not going to do negligible damage to the Fiora. I think you do have to be a little bit concerned about just getting bursted out by a 4-item full AP Galio who teleports in and smashes you. So it's maybe a little bit more concerning, but she does still have the parry and everything, so I bet she'll be okay.
And what build are you looking for on Damonte as well? Is there room for that kind of adaptive helm in there down the road, or does that just cut your damage now?
I expect that would not be an item you grab right away. You probably still are looking for, you know, the Ravenous Hydra, Black Cleaver kind of lifestealy build for the first little bit. And then you would expect, given that lifesteal focus, that you go the Spirit Visage to get the healing amp. But maybe you do go Adaptive Helm.
The parallel universe.
Yeah, not sure. I mean, they do have some repetitive damage type.
Sure.
So we'll have to see. It's been a while since we have seen this matchup.
Ooh. Chau with the long range. Nice stop. A bit of unbreakable there to save Jurassiq a few hundred more HP, but the Klepto is helping him stay healthy, as well as Damonte in the mid lane. Biscuits, Klepto, everything he could ever want, even though he's only got a swimsuit on. I don't know where the pockets, but he's doing it. Maybe he's just got a
metal detector in the sand.
That's right. Drops it out, find it, picks it up.
I found a biscuit in the ground. I'll eat that.
Let me eat this. 4-minute, 2-second rule. But clear. Damonte eats that Winds of War, gives bobqin a little time to head in. He's nicely got a Vital on the bot side. Doesn't have to worry about too much in this lane right now. We see Potluck going back. He's going to grab himself up a bit of strength, head back out into the map. OddOrange as well towards the top side of the map. Very quiet from the junglers to start things off.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. You would have expected to see me maybe a little bit of aggression. People often like to gank the squishier supports early, and Jarvan's not bad for that. Maybe some mid lane action. bobqin does have a fair amount of setup with his Galio pick, but the Jarvan is not being particularly aggressive.
Ping. Danger Will Robinson coming from the side of Golden Guardians and falling behind slightly across their lane so far without much action happening. They did just back, and that's the CS cleanup for Jurassiq, so you can see they're falling behind about a wave so far.
It's what you would expect given the you know, counter pick focus that they should be winning some of these lanes. Bot lane, no surprise, Morgana's a famous counter into Braum as the junglers say hello. And Chau has landed a lot of bindings onto Jurassiq, making it hard. Because not only does that chunk you out, but it also kind of ruins your ability to CS. Sometimes you can't walk forward and actually get to a minion. So Lost and Chau are off to a good start. And Damonte as well. You see there's a gold lead.
TP back lane.
He goes with the Relic Shield. It's very similar to the Gangplank, taking Kleptomancy, focusing on trying to get a lot of health back. Or excuse me, gold back. And you know, Fiora's another one of these champions where Kleptomancy doesn't really fulfill, you know, the idea of what you would think Fiora players want. They want damage, they want 1v1 dueling, and it's like, well, Kleptomancy is not exactly that, but it does give you sustain, it scales you faster, and Fiora has a weak laning phase sometimes, so you can understand why it's not necessarily the ideal rune choice for a lot of bruisers, which is the complaint, but it does actually synergize very well with her.
It's interesting when you have to kind of tell yourself to play a certain way. You're so used to damage.
The optimal way.
Damage on X level. I come back at 5, oh, I can kill him before 6. And here you have to kind of tell your brain to not go that hard. Whoa. Stand aside and get some safe. There's Xpecial, tries to push up now. Can you get a good winter bite onto Lost? They might have been able to lock that down, but he makes it rain with a hail of arrows, and they're trying to shut down that HP game. Potion Chug on the side of Golden Guardians to keep themselves safe. Chau just entering this brush one after the other to get these bindings in. Possibly shot down at Jurassiq. It just missed.
Yeah, and I'm surprised not to see a little bit more pressure down around this bot lane. OddOrange just kind of clearing his jungle away, happily up on the red buff again. They have really good vision control to make sure if they ever see bobqin now post level 6 start moving down into the river, hopefully they can spot him out. Galio's level 6 ultimate range is not too crazy, so he will show on any of those wards if he is on his way down. And up in the top lane, this is what the Sion pick wanted to do, just farming it out.
No problem whatsoever. A few hits there. Hit on this caster minion should be good. Knocks it out. That was amazing. Trigger the turret, knock it back, stall the timer. I like it. Was able to get the last few minions. And we're coming up on 8 minutes. A small roam from Echo Fox to try and start distributing a few more wards around the map.
And OddOrange is going to contest this red buff.
They have the vision. They just said they were cleaning it up. Winds of War. Little safety pen created there. Oh, locked up. Potluck maybe having a bit of trouble here as he gets himself in and out of danger. Doesn't look like they're going to fully initiate. 2 of those vitals. Brock actually gets a reset, goes in immediately, deletes OddOrange, says, bobqin, let's go! And here's another hit as he picks up kill number 2.
Echo Fox Academy getting way too aggressive. Hold on, bot side, something happened as well. Teleport's coming.
Oh, Lost went in hard.
They did kill Jurassiq, though.
Got the kill onto him.
The teleport's actually going to get out. Morgana's taking a weird path. They actually are able to disengage that bot lane situation, taking up Jenkins' TP. So that was a weird situation.
Very unexpected turn.
Get some clarity on that. For the jungle invade, Fox just did not respect the fact that he dinged 6 off getting that smite. So they never could have kept going aggressive afterwards, because now they are down a level on their jungle. They have no ultimate to contest this. So very easy for him to go in. Damonte times the stun perfectly well, but still have the CC to chase after. They get that kill, and during this on the bot side, there was a dive going in. Looked like they wanted to collapse and caught out the Ezreal, just get that chain CC combo down.
Oh.
Yeah. They wanted to keep going to Xpecial. Hail flash, so that he doesn't get the ultimate.
And also, another flash.
Yeah, he missed the E and the Q, so he had 3 stacks of the Varus.
The Blight.
Yeah, the Blight on him, and they weren't able to proc it ever. And the fail flash is missing the final tick of the Morgana ult, so that could have been a great 2-for-0.
That could have been huge. Interesting, and as well, can easily be retaliated on with composition like Jarvan, Ezreal, and Braum in that bot lane. The spell shields better be hitting to save that crowd control. Cleaning up the wave here, 88 to 82. So from what Golden Guardians did lose in that bot lane, they've actually been able to deny Fox a few CS and catch up. Pretty even across the board for all of that CS, so can't wait for more action to start to separate this game.
Yeah, it was also nice because they got the teleport out of Jenkins, so Allorim was able to push in the top lane, get a small CS lead, and now, despite how much Golden Guardians probably wants to punish all those flashes being down on the Morgana Varus, they have to be careful when they do it because Allorim has the ability to join in.
Can't wait. Turns into drill mode. Yeah. Get to see it.
I would like to see it at some point here, just charge down there and ding the turret and teleport back up to the top side is always an option.
Ooh, one more hit. Concussive blows. Glacial Fisher dodged out. Not going to be able to get him on the Winter's Bite again, but they will able to facilitate the slow. A few more shots. That is it. Papa Chow's going to be next, and they clean this one up. Last shot going to Jurassiq, and that's the double kill. A rotation down behind Dragon and another fight towards the top side. As Jenkins is very low. And now we're on to OddOrange. There's a Cataclysm coming down. Auction up and down as they get the damage onto Damonte, but it's actually coming through for the side of Golden Guardians. Here is Xpecial, and he gets the Winter's Bite in. That's Damonte going down in the final hit from bobqin.
Overall,
wow.
That's a 4 for 0.
Thanks for keeping track.
It was hard. On the side of Golden Guardians, top lane fight, Jenkins was able to get out. Looked like what he was doing was he went through the turret to interrupt any potential teleport coming in from Allorim. But in doing so, Allorim realized that doesn't even teleport and goes aggressive on Jenkins under his turret. That led to that kind of skirmish up in the top side, as the mid-jungle skirmish was not working out anyways. Taking a look at this initially down the bot side, just the summoner disadvantage for Echo Fox's bot lane leads to Golden Guardians getting aggressive. They get onto Lost. In the top side, you can kind of see Allorim running under his turret, just desperately trying to get out of range from the Gnar to be able to teleport. Gnar chases him through the turret, so Jenkins just gets aggressed on up there. Meanwhile, this fight was going on the bot side. They're just going way too aggressive, trying to stop the roam from coming in. Fiora's doing her best to try and outplay this, but despite how well she's doing, Galio is a little bit too strong at this point because they had that double kill earlier on, as well as the fact that, hey, we won the bot lane skirmish, so Xpecial can collapse as well.
Quickly and nicely done by Golden Guardians. And they find themselves in a game where come in saying Echo Fox is kind of the advantage here to win. A good start has been seen from Golden Guardians before. It's kind of where they do flourish in their games. They find a few early plays. They have that idea of what to do throughout the laning phase. Can they carry it this time? No. Can they keep themselves in the driver's seat? Here's the Ocean Drake to start that.
Yep, and they are not super far ahead in gold, only about 1,000 despite the massive kill advantage. A lot of that coming just down to CS numbers, but it is good that they're ahead currently. Like we said, Echo Fox's comp does not exactly play well from behind. You got to think when Jurassiq starts grouping up in the mid lane and they're shooting Winds of War and Mystic shots all over the place, Fiora is not going to deal too well in that situation. She's going to want to be splitting. But then you only have Varus for wave clear. So this is very promising for Golden Guardians, but they can't slow down because they don't want to ever have to deal with hyper late game split pushing Fiora.
No, please.
Had some bad experiences there, Riff?
Oh, all the time. Jenkins popped up, dropped down, and he drills the last few minions and take them out. Coverage on the top side for Allorim makes him feel comfortable enough with the lane resetting that he can go ward a bit deeper. Get his team a little bit more vision on where Potluck may be coming from. His smite's just down as he started to roam around. I believe that was for bobqin. And he'll go back real quick. Oh no, Blue's still up, so he's just smiting his own camps as he heads around.
And there's that pressure down the bot lane. 3-man to try and finish the turret, but they got flanked.
Under the turret, Xpecial looking pretty good for now. This is definitely going to take a little longer than they wanted, but they should get out, I think. No, OddOrange is going to be taken down. They also get lost as it takes way too long. Where are you coming from, Allorim? He's able to get out of this one, luckily not hitting anyone on the way through. And that teleport is actually going to cost him a bit towards the top side. Jenkins did use his, but it looks like he'll get there first, and the bot turret.
Yeah, good play by Golden Guardians, punishing Echo Fox from getting a little bit of tunnel vision as stuff's still going on in the mid lane. Nope, never mind. So it was weird because Xpecial had sat in the brush and waited for them to start 3-manning the turret before wrapping around from behind. And it didn't feel like Echo Fox knew whether to focus down the turret or focus down Xpecial. They ended up doing both, which lets Lost get chunked out by the turret as he was tanking it. The teleports come in late. So here you'll see they get really split focus where two people are going on to Xpecial. Lost is just getting auto-attacked by Jurassiq. Doesn't actually finish the turret off and has to run forward. He's almost dead. These two teleports finished way before Allorim's able to get involved. So 2 kills instantly over. Xpecial loses his life for it. Allorim scoots out of there, but they do lose the bot turret.
Here we go. He is out. So another pretty good fight here for Golden Guardians. They're going to go ahead, get that blue buff finally relayed over to bobqin in the mid lane. Eyes on OddOrange, but they also see Potluck, so information on junglers is given out. And the lane swap. Now that bot lane's taken out, we're going to have Jenkins just farm that one out against Allorim. Haven't had any initiations from him. We'll have to wait until we get the train on the tracks. Papa Chau and the rest of the team to guard top now. That's some of the team.
Some. Jurassiq has become strong enough now at almost 2 completed items that it's worth playing around him. So you see a ton of vision control focus up on this top side. Make sure that he's safe on this Ezreal to pressure bobqin as his ultimate, so that you can expect them to try and probably force another play down around, or up around here, I should say now, as the dueling's on the top side.
Where will they go from here? Not too many wards on the Rift Herald. Just seems like they want the turret first, in and out. Could be a big fight if they get Damonte in there cutting people up. Even though he's 0-2-0, can still make that solo play. And there is a hit. OddOrange not having a great game. He is getting, I believe, like 4 out of 5, maybe 5 out of 5 cataclysms already that Potluck has thrown out, and not finding himself on the living end of these. That one gets himself to safety, but they are still losing constant pressure around the map.
Yeah, it's one of those situations too where those cataclysms start going further and further on your side of the map.
Yeah.
At first they were in Golden Guardian's jungle, getting punished for being too aggressive. Then there was one in the river, then there's one in the bot lane, and now you're in your jungle. You want to stop that trend before it's happening in your next turret.
Next turret is the top one. You do have OddOrange kind of routing around, but he's going to walk through a plethora of wards here as he comes in. It may not be able to stop it. Heroic charge up for bobqin. He'll definitely make it before Damonte, but it does not look like they will need to fight.
Able to disengage that one, and that is the Varus ultimate down as well. So they will keep that pressure up around the top side. Things are going perfectly here for Golden Guardians. With that turret down, now you can swing mid and start exploiting this lack of wave clear on Fiora.
Lost having a little bit of trouble on that Varus this game. A few Chain of Corruptions going to the wayside, and the ones that are hitting aren't locking down the targets for long enough. 1-2-1 for him to a 2-1-2. I'm sure Jurassiq is feeling great right now as this team picks up the Rift Herald, and Golden Guardians is keeping something on their plate. Next step is already set, and that's great to see for a team that has been kind of on the back foot a lot of these games.
Yeah, and you have to tip your cap to them for being able to keep their composure against this weird comp by Echo Fox. It can be a little crazy when you go up against something like this, but they understood that they're going to lose bot lane, most likely, so they just kind of played back, let that happen, and then punished when Echo Fox started getting desperate. Same with the mid-jungle synergy. It's like, all right, they have a Fiora. This is going to be a little weird. And then they start just saying, all right, you're too deep, so we're going to use our J4 Galio combination to blow you guys up.
Clean up in the top side. Allorim, Isle top. 187 to 167 there. So he's getting pretty big. Already got the Frozen Heart. Didn't really lock down too many players on Golden Guardians, but he defends himself. That's nice.
Yeah, a little surprised to see that one. Maybe another armor item would do better, but Sion does enjoy the cooldown reduction.
Very true.
Help against Gnar potentially in the side lane.
Oh, that is true. Gnar beating on him with a little hyper attack.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Back on track there. So, a river being cleared out now. Golden Guardians keeping wards on the map. Oh, Potluck gets drilled, but he buffers the flag and drag first. The crowd control follow-up is immense, but so is the knock-up coming in from Golden Guardians. Can they solidify the fight, though? Too many targets left and right. They find the priority ones. Lost. OddOrange down. Oh, Damonte flashes forward to the fight, but Jurassiq's able to get him on the back side there. And now they're on to the jungle. No, sorry, Allorim on the top side. He goes down. Once that Iceborne Gauntlet starts hitting, Jurassiq has them in his reach. And a great fight by Golden Guardians.
Huge 4-for-1 that started with Echo Fox thinking they had finally found the angle to engage on, but bobqin's Galio is huge. Comes slamming down the middle of that fight to knock everyone up. And then a little bit of split focus as some members of Echo Fox chase down the back line, and the rest try and kite out the Fiora. Maybe could have kept a member or two alive, but still a great fight out of them. And the Ezreal is officially online at 5-1-3, getting a ton of cleanup kills in that fight. They grab the mid turret. They're going to get their second dragon of the game.
It is interesting kind of watching what has to happen for Echo Fox in these fights. I mean, when you're Fiora, you hit a proc on somebody, you almost want to chase that vital, right? Instead of start new, find a Gnar who's huge, you're not going to rip him down. So we see all the way to the back line, Damonte was hungry for that. You are right in the separation here for Echo Fox in their fights. Maybe a little more coordinated next time, and we'll see here how it happened.
And it looks like a decent start to the fight. Lots of members are getting dropped down very quickly. Potluck instantly bursts, and Xpecial looks like the next target. But at this point, you really can't afford to focus down a Braum, which is what they kind of keep doing here. He ends up
But
living
one
for
more hit.
But one more hit, exactly. He gets him. Eventually finishes him off, but all the priority members of the Golden Guardians are still alive. All 3 laners are just pumping out the damage. And it was a nice idea, like we said, but they're so far behind right now. The straight 5v5s are very difficult to win.
Still like to see it. Might be the wrong call, but everybody in on that call for Echo Fox as they tried to get the fight down. That means they're still trying to put their foot down. They have to stop Golden Guardians, something they probably didn't expect to have to work with this game. And they're being thrown off a bit.
And Jenkins here.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a tough time with the Fiora. This is one of the concerns with the comp is that Echo Fox's win condition is not just 5v5. They can always rely on the Fiora, who was able to find a kill in that fight. 2 items completed, pretty big. Actually, more items than Jenkins. So that Kleptomancy, making sure that despite the rough start, he's still pretty on track with gold.
Yeah. It's just knowing that you'll get there down the road. He's doing good for himself. Now, I keep looking at Allorim on the top side and thinking it's Damonte, and I'm like, Frozen Heart, Fiora, how are you pushing?
That's
not the case.
Hard to train your eye to see Fiora and think mid laner.
Yeah, I guess it'll be happening quite soon here. The back we see coming in from Jenkins. Looks like Allorim will take that time, as he already has the wave still pushing in his favor. Fight a quick crab before he goes by.
It's also a situation where it might be hard for Echo Fox to kind of face check Barons. You want Allorim there for them, but they're trying to do this 1-3-1 setup. So if you're just sending OddOrange in, who's pretty weak, all things considered at this point in the game, 22 minutes in, no Warmogs. That's a tilter.
That was the last second. He was already up in the ground. Yeah, usually you see on OddOrange that same thing as we get from Potluck. You have your Warmogs out, you're a little bit tankier, and you still only 2 items into that. Still sitting on 1 item itself.
Yeah, if you do have the Morgana Black Shield, which can make it a little easier to face check things, but
it's true. Definitely has to be buddy system now, as he is with OddOrange. Just getting harassed for red buffs, harassed for everything as they can't get around their own map without being in vision. There, a quick ward. Gonna go ahead and leave it. That's a good ward, they said.
It's a nice ward.
It's a nice ward. I respect that ward. Doesn't make me angry at all. I'll leave it in my red buff. Ooh, wow. Oh. Okay, Damonte kind of reconsidering this. He'll heal up on it, but he can't take that consecutive damage over and over unless he's all in on the fight. No bar for Jenkins and no more pressure on the map, so maybe we will get that 1v1 as time goes on.
It's interesting to see because one of the things that Fiora generally does well in these duelist situations is sustain up, especially with their build, but Fleet Footwork and Ocean Drake for Jenkins means he doesn't quite get poked out as easily as you might expect just by seeing a Gnar with Frozen Out Black Cleaver.
Where is Lost at? 2-3-2. Got a few kills for himself in that last fight. Building up now. Wits End. Rage Blade has to be on the fight for a bit to get that amplified damage. Ezreal looking big. Jurassiq level 12. And ready to keep those Mystic shots coming in from the side of the fight. Roaming with Xpecial. Looks like they will stay safe. What do you feel like Golden Guardians' next move could be on this map? Knowing they have the mid, but do they go somewhere else to kind of route Echo Fox?
Oh. Damonte pops his ult there. Bluffs and engage, just wants to push the wave. I think you want to play it around Baron, just like you're doing here. It's still tough, but just any kill you can get is a good kill.
Doesn't get too far off the ultimate, but there is quite a bit of lockdown. Allorim all on the end of it. He gets himself to safety. Attack after attack, pretty mitigated by the adaptive helm. He's got himself now on that Frozen Heart. So 2 big items for him. The initiations may kind of be able to continue for Echo Fox once they have those ults. They just have to find their targets. They got the tanky members. Are they tanky enough?
See the power of that Sion. Haven't seen it in a while, but despite kind of getting jumped on there by 3 members of Golden Guardians, did not drop down particularly low.
More armor even in that inventory for himself. Make sure Potluck and bobqin do not take him down. I'm sorry, Potluck and Jenkins do not crush him down. 12-4, 25 minutes in. Not actually a spot we've seen Echo Fox in too often. They'll control the early game, have control of the mid game, then kind of work off Damonte having a decent mid game. Early game to mid.
Yeah, I think that's good to point out that Damonte generally feels like one of the key members in the team situations, but here he's not with them at all. He's completely split off doing his own thing. And now with the Bramble Vest on, making Damonte's 1v1ing a little bit more difficult.
Mega Gnar into the wall, wallop, a good set of minions there. Oh, the train coming down the tracks. A nice hit in. That would have been a stop by Potluck as well. Damonte's forced to run from the fight. He says, thanks for the help, but I cannot stay to play. And Allorim looks like he'll be going down. Is he found actually by Jurassiq? No, Jurassiq stops, kiting down towards the bot side. This will take a while. This is what you were talking about before. It took him a little bit to do a chunk of health to Allorim, but they will now start to position a bit towards the Baron, but only grabbing vision there.
Yeah, Allorim gives his life up so Damonte can get out, but not really anything punished on the flip side of the map. Echo Fox has been so pushed in for the last 10 minutes of the game, they really can't answer with anything but clearing out some wards around Baron. They get a couple of their own down, and even after that, Golden Guardians are going to walk away with their third dragon of the game, their first Mountain Drake, making it even easier to take this Baron in the next couple minutes.
Great assortment. I like it. I just need an Infernal.
Unfortunately, not going to be an option.
3 of any 1 dragon in a game. We aren't hitting that at all this time. Won't have the time.
And Damonte tried to go up to the top side since he knew they were going to be on dragon after killing Allorim. Got some good damage on the turret, but the bot lane rotated up in time to force them out of there.
Ooh. Damonte hiding in the brush. And if this night's games were not enough for you, make sure you catch the EU rebroadcast up next for the EU LCS. League of Legends continues all night long. It doesn't have to stop here at twitch.tv/Riot Games right after these Academy games. So be sure to keep that on and rolling to see what happened on the other side of the pond.
League fans never sleep. So there's always a game on somewhere to watch.
Well, that's one thing I love about League. Like, you can watch any football game at night, but you're not going to go suit up. And this is any sport, not just football. Like, you can go outside and do, like, tackle plays and stuff, right? But if you see FLICKR in a game, you can load up League of Legends and go try to do what FLICKR just did. That's what I love about it. It's accessible. It's right there. Just like you said, you never stop.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean, Riv. I loaded up into a bunch of ARAMs last night.
And then went out
my brains out.
4 o'clock and did tackle plays.
Somehow got GP. I cannot barrel chain.
Oh. It's a trait. Gotta be born with it. And born with the barrels.
You have to be an actual pirate.
This attribute does help. Proven. Actually proven. 4-3 Fox Academy. A 1-6 Golden Guardians looking to make a move here in the Academy season. And so far this game, they're making a good story of it.
And this ward, despite kind of catching the entrance to the Baron pit, did not see Jurassiq and Potluck two-man that Baron. That 4-item Ezreal actually took that down super quick with the help of that Mountain Dragon. And there you go. The Baron snuck by Golden Guardians.
Like that Duskblade in there of Drakthar. A little Ezreal insert.
Yeah, knows he's kind of smashing this game. And
why not?
It's a really powerful item for Ezreal.
Sees the ward?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Sees the ward. There. Hey,
found it.
But yeah, you just pop out of a wall, shoot a Q, wait for the cooldown to go back up, so you're a ton of damage. Like, it can be pretty crazy with them.
Yeah. Adds a lot more harass.
Not much armor either on the side of Echo Fox, other than, you know, obviously Allorim's a beefcake, but other than him,
you're hoping for the Ninja Toppies this early.
Yep, so, you know, the lethality will be pretty strong on that Duskblade as well.
Talking about bobqin as well. Leandry's got the rod to still be a bit tankier, and now he starts going towards the Bramble Vest, the big stuff, so he can still be a tank, but is delivering the damage we usually do not see. That's OddOrange. Always the focus, into position, not respecting getting locked down. He's been taken down quite a bit in this game on the Sejuani. That results in the mid, second tier turret. Jurassiq towards the front line, gets that vision from the Duskblade on to do a bit more, and now they continue to take down the inhibitor now, or the inhibitor turret, I should say, and now onto the inhibitor.
Just one small mistake by the side of Echo Fox lets Golden Guardians capitalize. Using this Ezreal pick to great effect.
Yeah.
Huge game out of Jurassiq. They survived the early pressure as best you can given the lane matchup. They were able to exploit the over-aggressiveness out of Echo Fox's bot lane. And overall, Golden Guardians has played a great defensive game with how many counter picks came in the early game. Never actually lost control of anything in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. And even in Champions, like, we kind of saw those first 3 picks the Narvin and the Galio, as you said, and it's like, damn, that's a lot of tank, that's a lot of defense. Where's the damage coming from? And then you get a Galio that starts building ability power along with the Ezreal, who had a 6-1 and 3 lane. And you're kind of taken off guard. I'm sure Damonte wasn't expecting a damage lane to come at him.
Yeah, I think it shows good adaptation out of them. You start that draft off, like you said, with those first 3 picks, and you're like, all right, this is a dive top game.
Right.
The Sion comes in. All right, that's kind of difficult. The Fiora comes in. Okay, well, I guess that's a mid Fiora. Then the Morgana, and you're like, all right, I guess we're losing bot lane too. Like, what do we do with our comp now?
Yeah.
And they just showed great preservation in this game to stay with defending their jungle, contesting their own red buff, making sure they weren't giving anything away for free, and then punishing mistakes when they cropped up.
31.5 with 1:15 on Ocean Drake, 14-4 at this point. Maybe one of the biggest leads Golden Guardian has found themselves in this season. Now they'll start in the second tier top turret. Allorim is in the mid, who comes to top side, but it is pushed by bobqin in mid and bot by Jenkins, who does have a TP and a whole lot of wards to get there on.
He's got quite a while to go with that push.
He does.
Is able to really use it.
It'll speak a large amount to Golden Guardians as well if they can hold this. They do have the Baron, so it makes it easier to just let those minions do work. But if they can hold off until Jenkins gets there, it's definitely good to see. Sometimes teams get antsy.
And I really like bobqin being in the mid lane here, because you don't know if the Fiora is going to try something sneaky down the bot lane on the Gnar. And if you're in the mid lane with the Galio, you can go back up to the top side or the bot side, wherever they end up trying to send this pressure, as well as the fact that he's escorting those super minions into the mid lane. So really great lane assignment here out of Golden Guardians.
And then it works out as soon as you get bobqin in the base. That does have to call Damonte back. A free turret towards the top. The dominoes are falling. The initiation onto bobqin. Glacial Prison goes down. He's safe for now. The team can actually save him here. Xpecial's going to get in with the shield. Oh, he throws it down the wrong way. He won't block much on that. bobqin still gets out alive, but that means Xpecial goes down. A wrong shield actually means a very big error in a fight. And they are also going to lose bobqin on the re-entry. Now they lose Potluck. This is turning for the worse here. And it is a locked up bound Jurassiq who gets himself to safety. FOXA, don't chase the fight. We can clear out and possibly force a Baron here. What are they going to do? Or can do Baron, it's down.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? It was already taken. It's the tick off there by Golden Guardians.
And you can
made me think it was up.
How sticky the 2 carries left alive are. Jurassiq and Jenkins just pelting people away, but not actually able to get anything off of that. Some nice kills for Echo Fox to try and stabilize the game a little bit, stop it from ballooning over 10K.
Yeah.
And just a couple errors in a row there. One of those comedy of errors as things kept going wrong.
Little things too.
Yeah, first bobqin gets caught out. They try and save him. Xpecial jumps in, shields the wrong way, and then gets rooted up, so he couldn't even land his W onto bobqin to try and save him. Then Potluck goes flying in to try and save Xpecial. We'll take another look at all this from the top. So bobqin gets jumped on. Probably wants to use his ultimate to get away, not quite able to do so, so he does this to stall. Xpecial wants to W to him right then, but gets hit by the Varus ultimate. bobqin's able to get out. And then Potluck goes in. bobqin's still at about 500, 200 HP, still ults back in, so he ends up dying. Potluck is still going to die. And this entire time, Jenkins has been unable to get involved in the fight, so it's been a 5v4.
What an eye. You're so right. He's trying to W over to bobqin. And that's why your mouse is on the bottom side of your screen, activating that shield in the wrong direction. Unfortunate, but so true. All so little to happen, right? For everything that's gone right for them. A little assortment of things can make it all come tumbling down. Not terrible. They still obviously have huge map control with the amount of turrets they have, but they have to do a little bit of work, and they cannot make that mistake again.
Yeah, that's your one free one.
Yeah.
You give up 3 kills. You don't lose any turrets or anything off of it, really. You have Baron coming back up in a minute, but you got to be clean from here on out.
Little extra items here as these have given OddOrange some more money. He gets a Knight's Vow that he can actually get out here protecting Lost on the bot side.
Yeah, Lost is still, unfortunately, an item behind the Ezreal. He's
not having a great game.
Still going to be the main threat. I mean, Damonte got his Sterix Gauge now, trying to get onto his Bloodthirster, but struggling to have an impact against Jenkins.
Ooh, there's the hit. First one didn't do too much. Second one, he felt it.
Yeah, the damage between a Vital proc and not is pretty substantial.
You don't say.
Fiora looks like she's tickling him. Then, oh, there's 5th
like
of his HP.
Slap on a hand, I cut off a finger. Oh man, that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Baron is alive, and things will escalate as well on the Rift here. 36 minutes on the clock. This always comes down to the ward fight, but it might come down to that Baron jockey.
Yeah, you see, OddOrange has that elixir. That's a powerful Q.
That's a Duskblade slap in the face.
Echo Fox trying to fight for vision control. They're using that big pig with the elixir on.
Get that bristle to the good positions.
And it is very hard for them. Like we said, their engage isn't great. Like, you might have a max range Sejuani ult to try and snipe out Jurassiq, but Allorim's ult is a little too slow and telegraphed to really have a chance to land onto the Ezreal, so. He's the 6-1 and 4, you know, remember you need to focus down, and it's just tough to find a way onto him.
The thing that looks so good, too, is you think about the crowd control from Echo Fox. It's just all line shot. One guy gets caught, he's going to have to die. Chain of Corruption, Dark Binding, Glacial Prison. It's just not there. They can't find the follow-up. Damonte getting turned on here. Magic Shield not going to help you too much here as your vitals are getting procced left and right. Finds a way to dive out of that fight, but also pulling Fox to the top side of the map, giving them a possibility for Baron. It is question marked for Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians, you can see just how much losing that one fight meant to them. They're already, you know, way more back on their side of the map. The side of Echo Fox has complete control of the top side vision in their own jungle and a pretty good grasp on Golden Guardians, and that's so different from how this map was looking just a couple minutes ago. And
kind of in those flows, you see Golden Guardians doing so well. Kind of what is that main thing that happens? What do they become so afraid of? It's the wave position, it's the map position. What kind of changes?
It's one of those things where, you know, the grip just loosens a little bit. So when you're ahead, you have the Baron buff, you're pushed in, vision control, waves are on your side, and you start losing one of those, and then they can start fighting back a little bit more, as well as the fact that sometimes there's also a psychological element to it where it's like, oh, we messed up, everyone play a lot safer, and suddenly your tanks aren't frontlining, all manly, not scared of anything, and then it's harder for Ezreal to walk up and land Qs, and it's one of those things that's just a big chain of events that just starts from losing a single fight.
They will start the Baron. Vision is denied as it doesn't look like there's too much want to check it. Papa Chau going to throw a few things over, but they are going to realize they're a little too late. And now Golden Guardians back in a driving position here. If Echo Fox cannot get these waves pushed up, that's what they're trying to do.
Good force by Golden Guardians there. Still very hard for Echo Fox to really compete with this. And they're doing it as a 5-man. They're basically saying, Fiora, you know, you have a long, long way to push down that bot lane. We think we have time to get this Baron buff. And they did, so good shot call out of them. Now they're willing to recall people. Weird play by Fox here. They wanted to shadow Damonte because they figured Golden Guardians were going to collapse there, and Golden Guardians just charges up the mid lane instead. So it's going to be a free inhibitor basically on the side of Golden Guardians.
I just call it a recall party. They all wanted to go by red buff recall. I don't know. I was wondering the same thing, but you were right. They tried to back up Damonte and thinking that Golden Guardians wouldn't run down mid.
Yeah, it's like, meet me on the roof for the party at midnight, and then you get there, and it's like, where's the party?
Change the locale.
Yeah, it's actually your inhibitor.
Top lane now, they don't have a turret to get behind, but they have a big wave to push through. It looks like that will be set up by Echo Fox on the other side. Back here from Damonte, so Jenkins will be calling that. Watch out on a bit of initiation here if Damonte gets in range.
Yeah, but you still have to be scared of those bindings, like you're saying. That chain CC threat is very, very dangerous, but they have basically 3 tanks for Jurassiq. You have Braum, he's the one getting the chain CC right now.
Oh boy, right on the front side, Xpecial gets taken down before he can move. Everybody getting an assist on that, and I said, Damonte's coming back. They might want to fight. Jenkins has to relay that, and maybe he did, but Echo Fox is acting too fast out of the base. One goes down. Oh, he puts himself in the frying pan. That's not going to be fun. That's bobqin going down as well as they lose Potluck.
That is the second fight that they've lost 3 for 1. The same 3 members dying. The double J players of Jenkins and Jurassiq alive. And you have to kind of throw some shade at Jenkins here. Unable to get involved in either of these situations until they're already, you know, kind of decided. I mean, he had the teleport. Teleports into the bad location, has to cancel it. There's no reason that during Xpecial's chain CC situation, he couldn't have started teleporting it somewhere. And now Echo Fox have control of this game. Kind of the gold lead has shrunk down to about 3,000. So they are slowly getting back in the game. Damonte is becoming a bigger and bigger threat.
They weathered such an early game storm. Oh, let's see how this turns out. He gets the jump in to get himself to safety, but that procs out Gnar as well. Lost and Chau were just getting hit up in the early game. Playing it safe after that from Jurassiq and Xpecial. What a game it's turned out to be here. 40 minutes in. Elder Drake's up and taken down to about 75% before Echo Fox says, okay, we found him. We don't necessarily need to do it. This gives Damonte a nice push for the top side.
Yeah, this is more about just pulling them away from Damonte than really wanting this themselves. They have no elemental dragons. Golden Guardians Academy has 4. So there's no world where you ever want to go into a 50-50 smite there. That's
want this chance?
This is we're going to do a little lesson in pros and cons. If you get it, you get a 45 damage burn. If they get it, they get like a 200 damage burn. Maybe.
Now you're pushed into it, teleport in. Damonte leaves the top side, goes down behind red. They don't know where he's going, and Jenkins may have called that once again. Here comes Damonte. He's got Jurassiq in his eyes. He sets up for the true shot barrage, and he's still going to be on him into the fight now. You see a lot of damage on bobqin as he tries to set up the taunt, tries to set up a shield. Block gets down, keeps himself safe. Damonte now the target. Jurassiq tries to kite out, but it's just been too much of a route. Echo Fox had eyes all over the fight and knew exactly what they wanted.
Big props to Damonte there. He had his teleport up after that last fight, so he's able to get around to the backside of the fight. It looked weird with just Allorim ulting a tank in the front line, but he was trying to distract Jurassiq from realizing that the Fiora was wrapping around the backside, and during that time, both front lines are caught up with each other, and it's basically a 1v1 between Lost and Damonte. No one ends up winning it though, Damonte and Jurassiq. That ends up stalling out until Lost has melted through the front line of Golden Guardians. He's able to join in and help finish them off, and here we go. Here we go, Riv.
Oh man.
We're in for a game.
Is it happening? Echo Fox holding out. Make themselves much bigger now. Jenkins is going to clear out the map, make sure they only have to push lanes and try to get himself a little bit bigger. They're taking a breather right now, considering what happened, discussing the fight, hoping that does not happen again on the side of Golden Guardians.
Yeah, so as you see here, OddOrange and Allorim kind of throw themselves in, and they start just a big dog pile on the other side while Jurassiq was trying to deal with Damonte. And during that time, Lost and the rest of Echo Fox had won the frontline battle, so they're able to collapse onto Jurassiq. They find that kill on the Ezreal, the only significant threat on that team comp. And that entire time, once again, where is Jenkins? 3 fights in a row, completely uninvolved in them. This is a situation where he's kind of costing his team the game despite looking like, hey, I'm 1-0-5.
A lot of this health can't just be instantly chunked out anymore. Echo Fox is getting very tanky, and well, yeah, Galio's a lot of strength. It's not 100ing to 0 anybody. 100ing. Like it.
100ing. It is a verb.
Doing many hundreds.
It's also a strange situation where Damonte's at, his peak. Same with Jenkins. There's a couple members who are 100% maxed out, but then when you look at the side of Echo Fox, their top jungle and support are still waiting on a lot of items, so their front line can become much stronger from this point out.
Yeah. Oh, Damonte just wants the ward. 5-on-5 in the mid lane. It's just Jenkins coming over from the left wing here. Actually, Damonte is going to start peeling off, so he'll swip swap with Jenkins. Is seen on a ward, so it doesn't look like he'll try any 007 missions as he goes through. With 50 seconds on to Baron, that ward coverage is Golden Guardian, so I feel like Echo Fox has to work that a little bit.
This is a bit of an awkward situation for Echo Fox because ideally Damonte wants to split on the far side away from Baron buff, but he doesn't have teleport and Jenkins does, so he's actually sticking more around the top side so he can always run to a fight if one decides to break out. It's a little less than ideal, but they're trying to mitigate circumstances rather than force something crazy to happen. Because of course they could always stick Damonte bottom and just say, hey, go wild. And we'll try and not lose to a 5v4 teleport engage.
Oh, I wonder, they do actually see Jenkins bot, as you said, with that TP. May not be enough room to get damage on the turret. It does look like Damonte is going to focus it. He says team push mid harder. Mike with the initiation though. Damage onto Chau. Bit of a save there for him, but he is going to go down. The team does not have enough to save him. The push in from topside gets them a turret, so a small trade in favor of Echo Fox for the kill for Golden Guardians.
And they're just trying to run around Golden Guardians and stall this out. They know Baron is probably gone, but they're going to try and contest it a little bit anyways.
All right. OddOrange at the thicker part of the wall. He knows he has to go to the backside. Xpecial Glacial Fissure is up if he wants to shut that down. Throw in the chair. OddOrange doesn't want to take a seat at this. Oh! How flashy! They just focus him. Take him down. That would have been so amazing, though. I love it. He tried to kind of like deny vision, instantly pop into vision, and get it. Good idea.
Good idea, but I'm not sure it's worth it. There's a 50-second death timer on one of your main teams
That is
now.
always worth it.
Okay.
Summoner's Drift right there, man.
Yeah, okay.
No, maybe you're right.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. 40 seconds now on OddOrange's respawn timer.
Rough play.
Here goes the mid inhib. They have a minion wave now. Baron buffed up. Doesn't look like they want to get any of those sideways. Both those are in horrible positions to try and use, so they're just going to try and end the game.
Oh, no way. 24 seconds. They got to take at least one more person out. If that is what ends the game, because OddOrange goes for a late Baron attempt. Flying over the wall. Damonte trying to stave off a bit of damage to the left side. Says, walk this way. You want to fight me, not the turrets. Huge damage going into Xpecial. He's going to have to get out of there. Potluck is not in good shape either, as resurrecting on the side of Damonte. He will actually go down. The OddOrange is up, though, but they lose Papa Chau. Lost is almost going down. Went to Bike and Clussive blows, and he gets chilled to the bone. Allorim is going to fall here, possibly as he tries to get to the fountain. And can you believe it? The play, trying to steal the Baron, gives Golden Guardians enough of a ramp to climb right into the base, and they're onto the Nexus, finding a win, giving themselves another bump in the standings.
Bit of a scary moment there for the side of Golden Guardians. Almost threw that game away after some
holy moly
missed team fights towards the end of the game. But like you said, they try and steal away the Baron buff. They lose their tank. It gives them the courage to brute force up mid lane. They're able to end the game off of it.
Holy touch and go. Golden Guardians game, touch and go. But now, as I said, last game, usually if you just win, or the other game, usually you just win, you don't have much to go off of. They have a distinct error in this game to look at, but we're going to have to look at the replays as well. Golden Guardians with a great start, 11 minutes in, 4-0 in bot lane. And I think this is where FOXA was kind of like, oh, we didn't expect this at all.
Yeah, so they're trying really hard to pressure this turret. They get a little bit too far forward. They have this summoner disadvantage. So you see them get jumped on here. The flash is still available for Lost, able to, or excuse me, Jurassiq get onto Lost, finish him off. During this time, Potluck was making his way down, and it's just too late. And at the same time, there was a mid-jungle invade where they're trying to make something happen, and now it's like, oh, our bot lane lost. We got to get out of here. But Potluck turns around, starts this fight out, forces this. Damonte realizes that there's no way out, so he's going to try and beat them. Potluck kites it out, able to bring enough CC to make sure that those two go down, and Xpecial shows up just for good measure. And that was kind of the turning point where, uh-oh, all of our counter picks are falling apart.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed to change things up. They were able to find a bit. Fox Academy tie with gold at 41-30. The 3-for-1 at Dragon. We were like, okay, this is kind of what the things we expected to happen here with Damonte starting some plays off.
Yep, Damonte wraps around the backside as FOXA brute force the fight. They know they have the numbers advantage, so they don't care how they start the fight. They just have to start it. And Golden Guardians take the fight. They think they can win it. Jenkins is nowhere to be found. And once again, Jurassiq was in the 1v1 with Damonte. Damonte plays it very well, stalling out until the rest of his team could get involved in that team fight. You saw Lost kite forward and get the final couple hits. And that was the moment where Gold Lead finally went back to the side of FOXA.
And I didn't believe it, Mark. I did not believe you when you said they could end the game. I thought it was too risky, but Golden Guardians in the base right after OddOrange gets himself to a scary situation. This replay was Golden Guardians holding out and just microing the fight perfectly.
You were absolutely right, though, that there's no way they can end this without finding one more kill. Damonte's off threatening to the side, but they're able to get onto him, and he doesn't want to flash out and play this one safer. He actually tries to take the all-in, and that's just not going to work out at all. He goes down, and then, hey, guess what? Gnar's a good champion when he's in a team fight in Mega Gnar. I would love to have seen him in any other fight over the course of this game. Finally, Jenkins is there to follow up on the Jarvan engage, who they have their own little cute name, Narvin, for a reason. And after they finished off Damonte, it was very easy for them to clean up the rest of that kills and win that game.
Right inside the Cataclysm, scooping them all up and looking good. Golden Guardians keeping a win condition in mind there. They didn't say, oh, we're doing really good. Let's just kind of push mid. They're like, no, keep somebody in the side lanes. Continue to spread. If Damonte's able to join this fight with them, that's bad.
Yeah, and like you said, they wouldn't have been able to actually end that game if they had played a little safer. Damonte did not need to go in and actually take that 2v1.
Yeah.
He could have flashed out and played a little safer, but gets punished for it.
Getting himself in there, sometimes you have to. It's that last bit of the game, you feel like you need to do something, and your emotions push you over to that play that your logic kind of wouldn't.
Yeah, it's that kind of feeling of desperation. You're not 100% aware of the situation you're in, because you're probably thinking, oh God, my jungler's dead. They're just going to brute force these turrets down, so I need to distract them, and went a little too far with the distraction.
Your brain says, if you can hit all these vitals, you'll win.
Yeah, you're not
like,
wrong.
you're right,
Yeah.
brain. Let me go hit some vitals. But Golden Guardians with the, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, to be fair to Damonte, though, he had a pretty good game all around.
He did play it strong.
Rough early game, the jungle invades not working out, but he kept splitting, kept drawing pressure down, drawing Jenkins down there, and it allowed the other side of his team to actually win some of those fights.
Absolutely. And for Golden Guardians, things to look at here, kind of making a name for themselves in the early game, and they need to keep that going. We see them floundering a bit towards mid, where in this time it was actually towards the base more so than not, but they kind of got pushed around at objectives too.
Yeah, they have to be a little bit concerned because this was a game that did get turned around by the enemy team, and they had a weird comp. And it's the kind of thing where, would you have been able to win this game if they didn't have that weird comp? Because you punished it very well in the early game when they should be their strongest. And then the late game team fights where you should be your strongest, you start struggling a lot.
All right. Well, to hear more about that victory, I'd like to welcome Xpecial to the broadcast via Skype. Congratulations on the win and welcome.
Thank you. It was quite a game. I don't really.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Just in Champion Select, what were you thinking when you saw that composition?
Yeah, so we knew that Fiora was a counter to Galio, and we didn't expect them to play it, but it didn't work out for them. They kind of lost early really hard, and then we had a really big lead. But it was funny because the times when we were supposed to win, we did win, and then it hit the mid game, and we had a huge lead, and we just kind of threw. And then late game, when we were supposed to kind of falter, we managed to come back and get a good catch and managed to win the game off that.
So talking about some of those mistakes, what do you think was going wrong? Was it like a communication thing? Because a couple times Jenkins wasn't able to get involved in the fight. Was that like you guys being too far forward, or the enemy team just punishing a mistake?
It's a bunch of stuff. I mean, our team has a lot of really inexperienced players in playing professionally, and we lack a lot of communication. We lack a lot of information. Our quick decision making per person is pretty mediocre, and that makes it really hard in these late game situations where each person kind of has to think for themselves. And because of that, people often are out of position, get caught. It was both sides too. Like at the FOXA, obviously, the Morgana got caught towards the end. Like it's the same thing. At the LCS level, people have to make these decisions faster, and they're better at it, and they're more used to not getting caught. But at this level, there's a lot more that sort of thing.
And yourself in kind of a veteran position as you took the support spot on the academy team, how do you kind of deliver that information? What's kind of the fundamentals that you want to get them to start learning to make those critical thinking plays or just kind of be on the right track?
So a lot of that is through repetition. It's playing a lot of these situations out and messing up and going through the motions. And because our team is so new compared to a lot of these other teams who played in Challenger and LCS, I really have LCS or Challenger experience. And because of that, we go through a lot of errors, and we just have to grind through that. And my job is to reassure these guys that this is normal and give them confidence and provide them with the stuff that is more macro-based that you kind of learn from playing for a really long time. And they focus on a lot of stuff that is more on their own.
I guess in that regard, this is a great game to pick some things out and learn from. It was really hard fought, but you guys did actually get the win, which is obviously great. So congratulations for the victory.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Xpecial, thank you for joining us. Next time, hopefully Golden Guardians can do the same, as they have just been having so much trouble in that early game, trying to get themselves to the late game. But this time, to solidify the win.
Yeah, it was like he said, it was a tough game because they were winning at the parts that they should. They countered out this early game that was very lane focused by the enemy team. They hit this mid game. They're playing well. They're getting the Barons. Everything's looking great. And then right when they start, finally taking down the last couple of inhibitors, things start falling apart. And so it was one of those games that feels very painful. You could hear that Xpecial sound a little exhausted by the end of it.
For sure. It's definitely going to have a good night's sleep, but with a smile on his face as he goes through it. With week 4 now complete, let's take a look at how the teams are stacked up. We've got a 3-way tie for first place, with FlyQuest and C9 joining Team Liquid Academy with their wins today. A trio of teams share 4th place as well, and Golden Guardians end up tied in 9th after earning their 2nd victory. Academy has wrapped up this week, which means the LCS is just around the corner. Tomorrow, you'll see the same matchups, but with the LCS players you know and love. And it actually should be pretty good to start off the week, or start off the day. Clutch Gaming doing pretty well for themselves. TSM trying to find that footing.
Yeah, TSM has bounced back pretty strong. Clutch Gaming, needing to do a little bit more to improve. FLICKR was supposed to be their superstar. Not quite fulfilling on that promise right now.
Yeah, very true. He could be here soon, though. Now, if that's all too long to wait for, coming right up is the rebroadcast of this morning's EULCS matches ahead of their live Day 2 broadcast starting at 8 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central European Time. Now, for myself, Mark, and the entire Academy crew, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week. Two of those vitals. Brock actually gets a reset, goes in immediately, deletes OddOrange, says bobqin, let's go! And here's another hit as he picks up kill number 2 as they get the damage onto Damonte, but it's actually coming through for the side of Golden Guardians. Here is Xpecial, and he gets the Winter's Bite. Too many targets left and right. They find the priority ones lost. OddOrange down. Oh, Damonte flashes forward to the fight, but Jurassiq's able to get him on the back side there. The very big error in a fight, and they are also going to lose bobqin on the re-entry. Now they lose Potluck. This is turning for the worse here. Locket's down, keeps himself safe. Damonte now the target. Jurassiq tries to kite out, but it's just been too much of a route. He will actually go down. The OddOrange is up though, but they lose Papa Chau. Lost is almost going down. Winter's Bite conclusive blows, and he gets chilled to the bone.